Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel. Some of you guys might remember that last month I reported on the rumor that George Lynch was gonna go back to using his band name Lynch Mob again. And just in case you were unaware that he wasn't using the name Lynch Mob, he stopped using it like a couple of years ago because of the negative connotations with that name, according to George. So he's spent the last year or two calling his band George Lynch and the Electric Freedom. But now it is official, he is back to calling his band Lynch Mob. He's been playing shows over the past month or so, and they have been billing the shows as Lynch Mob. The backdrop says Lynch Mob. It's Lynch Mob. So now that we know that it's absolutely true, I was most curious to hear what George has to say about going back to the name after he made such a big deal about it just wasn't right to use the name anymore, he just doesn't feel right socially, his conscience, whatever. And now he's back to using the name after all that. So I really wanted to hear what he was going to say about that. He recently did an interview with Full and Bloom where he explains why he's going back to the name Lynch Mob. So I'm going to read to you a little bit of that interview. Okay guys, I'm reading this from an article on Blabbermouth, and I will put a link to the article if you want to read the whole thing, because I'm not going to read the whole thing. Here's what it says. Lynch Mob is just a brand I'd established for decades, obviously, over 3 decades. Nothing's perfect, and I've got to just live with the fact that it has some negative connotations that I probably have to continue explaining for the rest of my life. And I don't mind doing that. Interesting, because a couple of years ago, he basically said he did mind doing that. But it is a brand that I built, and I'm just gonna stick with it. As far as a marketing thing, and a brand thing, and a business thing, business, money, and a working thing. And it keeps my band guys working, and it keeps the fans happy. It makes sense. I really felt when I adopted Electric Freedom that I was really going against the grain more than keeping the old name. I really felt a lot more resistance than I'd ever felt having Lynch Mob. That was actually the reality of it. Nobody really liked it. And I didn't like living with that. It was just kind of uncomfortable. I think he means like it was uncomfortable using the Electric Freedom name because nobody liked it. It's like, okay, well, we've just got to put up with George's decision here to do this, but nobody agrees with it. We're not comfortable with it. It has a sort of disingenuous ring to it. As much as my motives were pure, I felt honest, it just never caught on all kinds of levels. Asked if he had gotten any negative comments from fans over the Lynch Mob name, George said, I may have had a few in the 35 years it's been around, but I'd say probably the most negative criticism I've had of it came from me. So I was my own worst critic with the name, especially in later years. I got a lot more criticism with Electric Freedom. Alright guys, so there you have it. In George's own words. If you want to read the whole article, I've got a link in the description so you can check it out. So, I'm going to say the same thing I said in the last video. I think it just came down to dollars and cents. He's able to generate more money using the Lynch Mob name than he is Electric Freedom. And it makes total sense. Like you said, that's a brand. The Lynch Mob, the brand, has been around for 35 years. Wicked sensation. 80s rock fans know that. They don't know Electric Freedom. What's Electric Freedom? Is that some kind of psychedelic 60s band? So I don't blame him at all for going back to the Lynch Mob name. In my opinion, he never should have dropped it in the first place. And you heard what he said. In the 35 years, he's barely had anybody complain about the name. This really has nothing to do with anything other than his name is Lynch, and it's his band, and it's called Lynch Mob, and that's pretty much it. And I just don't see fans that grew up in that era, like me, really having a problem with the name. And he's not famous enough to generate the headlines and the kind of negative press that some people get by using this name still in this day and age. So I think it's gonna be fine for George continuing to go play shows, release albums, whatever, under this name. Alright guys, so let me know what you think in the comments. Are you glad he went back to the name? You think he should have dropped it? You think he should have never dropped it in the first place? Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.